Center. You need to figure out how to balance the budget without monies coming from the general fund. You figure it out. And so if I was going to have a conversation with the Golf Authority, it'd be the same conversation I had with the Civic Center. Figure out how to balance your budget without $50,000 to Bull Creek and $250,000 from Oxbow from the general fund. Same conversation.
But isn't it also critical information for council to consider that there is a possible agency agreement of some sort where they would not need the Oxbow subsidy? Because that would be significant in council's consideration if that were true.
They've been working through a process with an organization of community people who have expressed an interest to the Golf Authority in the Golf Authority city leasing Oxbow to their group, their organization. And I met with the Golf Authority and representatives from this group along with the deputy city manager maybe 6 months ago, some time ago. And then I heard recently, not directly from the Golf Authority, but it's my understanding that the Golf Authority has agreed to move forward with this group. And I don't know the details of that, Mayor. I don't know that the details are that there would be no subsidy that would take over and they would make it self-sufficient. I believe that's the agreement, but I can't confirm that today.
I think that would be significant information.
And so, but just simply said, the same conversation with Civic Center is the same conversation with the Golf Authority. And then moving on to number 11, we've got $92,000 worth of expenses at Golden Park on an annual basis. And we generate about $10,000 in revenue. And so we need to, we're suggesting that we not fund Golden Park. That means the stadium would just be there for the time being and there would be no activity, no utilities and other activities, and there would be no use. And we would unfund it, and therein we would find $82,000 that we're now putting into it that we can't recoup back through revenue. And then, of course, we've talked about surplus property, and you know I've got staff looking at property that we are no longer using that we need to declare surplus and do something with. And Golden Park is on that list. And so council will have to make a decision as to, you know, we're going to bring some property forward to ask you to declare surplus because it's not benefiting the city.
Okay. So of the 17, these are the 4.
Those are the 4.
These are the 4 that you would suggest for initial conversation from the staff standpoint. You talk about it if you want to, but that, I think, does whittle it down to what staff would propose. So you've seen the 17 and now the 4 that they suggest might be low-hanging fruit or whatever you want to call it. So with that, we've got counselors in queue. Counselor Thomas.
Mr. City Manager, one of the things that I would like for you to do, for example, on item number 6, where you say the $250,000 from Oxbow. I heard what you just said, but in these kinds of things, I need to know, does that $250,000 mean Oxbow's going to close? I need to know what impact that's going to have on Oxbow. For example, unfund Golden Park. Quite frankly, and I sort of hesitate to say this, but I'm not sure what all goes on in Golden Park. So if we unfund them, what are we doing? I don't have that kind of information. And if I had that kind of information, I could tell you, yeah, unfund Golden Park, or no, take 50% or whatever. But that's the kind of information I would like to have. I would also tell you that any of these on here that say, for example, close the pool, close the recreation center, close that, I'm not going to agree to do that. I will agree to cut back on some hours, but I don't want you closing. I don't want our pools to be open on the weekend only. That defeats the purpose of the pool in the neighborhood. So tell me we're going to cut back an hour a day, and we'll, we won't get the $347,000, but we'll get some of that. The two that, if I had a magic wand, or if I had the authority that I would implement tomorrow, in number 15, which is reduce Lake Oliver Marina hours, I would implement the part that says increase boat launching fees. I've had a number of people who use the marina on a regular basis tell me that's a ridiculously low figure. I think it's $2 to launch a boat. Raise it to $5 tomorrow. I mean, that kind of thing I do. The other thing that I would do tomorrow is number 17. I would reduce all travel and all of that until, and that's only $12,000, but it's $12,000 more than we have now. But my point in saying this to you, Mr. City Manager, is that I can't sit here tonight and tell you I agree with number 1, 4, 7, 12, 14, and whatever without some more information.
And that's reasonable.
And so what I don't want you to do is to send me this chart, because this chart doesn't have enough information on it for me to make any kind of decision. Does that help at all?
It's absolutely reasonable. I just need to know that it's on the table for discussion with you, and like with Golden Park, I just need to know what activities are going on and
for example, I understand that the Sports Council has their office at Golden Park.
They do.
So, okay, if we eliminate this $82,000, does that eliminate them? Or do we go up on their rent? Do we make them pay? That kind of stuff is what we need.
And it means that the two people that work for Sports Council, we'd have to place them somewhere else, is what it, but yeah, we can
That's
get
the kind of information I need. We need to move them from here and,
Okay, so I'm good with that. I know what you're looking for, and so those are the 4 items. I'm good with that.
Okay, we're moving on because there's more.
I'm not saying that I agree with